Good morning, Floss Tube. I have been away longer than I'm meant to be. No excuses, just glad to be back. It is July 6th, 2019. I am Sharon, and this channel is Magnolia Nana. Welcome back to all my sweet friends, and if you're new, I hope you'll find something that encourages you today or something that you would like to stitch. I also have a book review at the end of the video and a couple of items of stash that were unintentional, but anyway, it will be a fun catch up, I hope. I hope all is well where you are and that you have not succumbed to the dreaded dog days of summer, which I feel like I have succumbed to in a certain way. I've just been in the doldrums lately. I caught a summer cold that is the worst I think I have ever had. Lasted over 2 weeks. Did not choose to miss work more than one day. So things just fell through the cracks. And I have not even done much stitching because even my stitching did not call to me. But I'm going to move past this and not let this heat and all the things that have been going on bring me down. So I hope you're in a cheerful place and enjoying your stitching. I think making this video today will inspire me to get back to it all. So I do have a couple of shout outs today that will be mixed in with me showing my whips. So if you are looking for a new floss tuber, hopefully this will be helpful today. And let me get right into it. The first start, and Dina, I'm using your beautiful blue bag, by the way, is one that was sent to me as a Happy Mail gift from our friend Mary Cat Stitches. And do go check her out. She always has some lovely, lovely stitching to show. And I think I showed you this beautiful Scottish sampler that she sent me in the mail. I think if I got used to taking things out of plastic before I started the video, that would be helpful. And there was something about the bottom of that beautiful sampler. This is a reproduction sampler from a real Scottish sampler that just had me started. I've shown you the real sampler before, but if I'm not shaking that, I hope you can see. So I pulled this out and realized that it was smaller than most samplers, which intrigued me. And so I'm thinking, okay, so I should go ahead and do this. Of all the stitching I've done since I spoke with you last, this has been the most fun. Let's see if I can hold this up. Look at those adorable animals. 2 dogs, 2 bunnies. And look at the Scottish thistle coming out of the urn. Now that border will go all the way around the sampler. So I'm hoping that I will memorize that. But you see that it is narrow. Now I am doing the white 32 count Edinburgh linen that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, because I was in a big hurry to get this started. And it has been fine. I've enjoyed it. But a big thank you to Mary at Mary Cat Stitches for sharing this. And just more fun than I can tell you. Looking at this, you know this is not my usual colorway. But it's been fun. Now, I did change the color of the thistle per my husband's request, because he said it's a Scottish thistle, it has to be purple. So we did change, put that down, the thistle. They had put it kind of in a brown with a little bit of coral or maybe peach. So that was his main request, that we change that. I still have to put my little lazy daisies here. But from this point here, I will be moving up to these 1/1 initials and motifs here, and probably trying to do some of the border as I go. Guys, I'm sorry, I have shaky hands today. But this has been all kinds of fun. Loved every stitch. My next project, which I started during my summer cold, which was a mistake, was a gift. And actually it was a giveaway. I won Marlene at Stitchin' by the Lakes giveaway. And this beautiful chart came to my house. It is called Pray. And it is by Teresa Kogut. And Marlene not only sent the beautiful chart, but she also sent all the threads. And you can see they're a bit of a mess already because I started this. But there is more story to this beautiful chart. It was shared to Marlene by her store owner in Little Rock, Arkansas. The name of the store is the Shepherd's Needle. And the owner has a FlossTube channel. She's brand new. She has one video. Her name is Thompson. And that Ann is A-N-N. No E at the end. Then Thompson. Thompson. So thank you, Ann, for sharing this beautiful chart with Marlene, who shared it with me. And I recommend her beautiful work to all of you. Look at the sweet card Marlene shared. Don't you love the bird's nest and the flowers? So the bad part about this was I was trying to do it while the cold was in both of my eyes. And y'all, every bit of this is going to have to come out, but I just have not had the patience. I'm using the other part of the linen that I had gotten from Hobby Lobby. And, you know, it's okay, but I've already started ripping out. My eyes were so compromised that some of my X's are not even in the right holes. It is sad stitching. I'm embarrassed. So this will be Pray. But for now, this is a start over. And I will never stitch again when my eyes are not happy. That was not smart. But what a cheerful, lovely piece of mail to receive, and how much fun I'm going to have with that beautiful angel. And it will be easy blocks of stitching now that I can see again. So, check out Ann Thompson on YouTube. And if you're anywhere near Little Rock, apparently she has a beautiful shop. I would love to go and visit her shop. Now, this piece is the one that I have spent the most time with. And before I show you this, let me tell you something that occurred to me as I was struggling with my stitching the last few weeks. Artists talk about media or medium. What medium am I going to use? And you know, as stitchers, I think our medium is a critical factor in what we decide to stitch. With the bad eyes, or when traveling where light might not be as good as in your stitchy spot, or when you are distracted, such as in the break room at work or at a doctor's office, those kinds of things. In my mind, our medium needs to be easier, bigger, less confetti, more blocks of color, all those things that make for a simpler stitch. So I've pulled out this old Dimensions kit. You've seen it so many times. One day I really may finish it. It's called Peaceful Countryside. And I'm kind of working to finish this top part right now. This is an old kit, and we pulled it off of eBay because I love the artist, Charles Wysocki. But it was what I needed during my sick time, and also during some time that we were out in the car and in another location. So let me show you. You may not be able to see a whole lot of progress, but let me tell you, there is progress. All of this is completed. And you can see that I have just a little to fill in here in the field, a little detail here in the houses, and my outlining for the church steeple. There will be more blue sky here, and those are done in half cross stitches. Then I came in and filled in some on the trees, the tree trunks. think I did anything at the Red Barn. I can't remember doing anything there. So each time I pull this out, I'm trying to finish another small section. As I've told you, I would love this hanging, maybe as a bell pull type hanging, probably in our living area, maybe in the kitchen, but loving the country the way I do, and the church, and horses. This, this just spoke to me. So for me, this was a wonderful piece to pull out to get through some difficult stitching time and in a location that I needed easy stitching. So just for what that's worth, I figured that out about myself. All right, let me put this one down. Now, you all know that my focus piece had been for the summer, the beautiful summer Quakers by Rosewood Manor. And I'm going to stitch along with my dear friend Donna up in Virginia. But this I put down for the reason I just mentioned before, because the linen requires careful counting and careful looking. So this definitely needs to come back. But I have made some progress that you need to see, because when I last spoke with you, I was working on the flower in the right corner. And I don't remember how much I had done, but it is complete. And I was afraid I was not going to like the finished product, but I should never doubt Rosewood Manor. It is gorgeous. So let me show you. I hope the lighting, I'm in a different room today. I hope the lighting will not be to our disadvantage. But here is that beautiful flower. Can you see the color shading in those leaves? How delicate and beautiful. And then the variegation that the Valdani threads give in the colors of the flower itself. I just can't stop looking at it. And on this hand-dyed fabric, it's perfect. So I started the little flower below the center iris motif. And there will be 2 of those. And I just had to stop because I couldn't see. But I will finish the motif under the basket there in the center, and then go down, I think, to the middle, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Let me try to hold this up so you can see the whole beautiful design. This is Karen Kluba of Rosewood Manor, Summer Quakers. So you're seeing the width of the project now from one side to the other. Is that truffle fabric not just luscious? Albeit hard to see without a knot light. Ha! So let me show you the motif that I will go to next. Everything fell on the floor. So I will do both of these little flowers, the little small motifs there, but then, it's this big center project. But won't that be elegant there in the middle? And then move over to these smaller ones here on the side. Because once that's done, there's another giant motif here. And then something similar to this flower right here. Her designing skills are amazing. So definitely a work in progress, but such a delight now that I can see again. In case you're new, I will show you the beautiful Valdani threads, which I fell in love with immediately. So they're back in their little box. They look a little neater than they did the last time. And you can see that this little green, the variegated green, is going to be used, most of it. Quite interesting how much goes of certain colors, but just beautiful. And in this little box, 3-strand cotton floss. Made in Romania? Was that correct? Yes, Romania. All right, now one more shout out, and then I have some stash and a book review. So I found a lovely young woman whose name is Iryna, Iryna, and I believe she puts in her FlossTube title her last initial H. She is apparently from Ukraine or somewhere in Eastern Europe, but she now lives in America. Beautiful little accent, but you can understand her perfectly. And she has some gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. So check her out. She is a young mother of 3 children, and right now she's working on a gorgeous lavender and lace angel. She also is about to start the Sheep Virtues, I believe, by Little House Needleworks. And there are other pieces. She does some dimensions kits, which I enjoy watching because somehow those Russian, Middle East, Eastern European stitchers do the most amazing work with the dimensions kits. But her lavender and lace angel right now, oh my goodness. She finished a Christmas project for her son that's one of those delightful Santas, and one for her daughter that I believe is a Nora Corbett fairy. So Iryna, Iryna. I'll try to put it down below. I'm not good at that. Okay, 2 items of stash. If you happen to be one of my daughters, don't look at these because these might be gifts somewhere in the future, but I could not pass these up when I saw them. These are the beautiful Realist kits. These are the bunnies with the clover, of course. And you remember how lovely they package their wool acrylic threads. And then the cats. Oh my goodness, how cute is that? And said daughter has a cat that looks very much like one of those kittens. But isn't that the cutest setting? Oh, there's our glare. So these will be a lot of the browns and golds. But those both are the most fun. Bunnies and kitties. So we had to bring those home. They were a really good price at Hobby Lobby. I'm like, yes, we're taking those. All right, before we close up for the day, my book review that I had mentioned the last video. This is the audiobook. It is called The Summer Before the War. I keep ending up with World War I books, and I don't know why, but this one particularly is worth a read or a listen. Helen Simonson is the author. She is the author of the book Major Pettigrew's Last Stand, and I think I told you how much I enjoyed that one. This particular book is about a school teacher who is hired to work in a small town in England, and her becoming acclimated to that setting, getting into her teaching, and at the same time, all of England and all of Europe being thrown into World War I. It moves into her new friends and what happens to them in the war. But oh, such a beautifully written book, and you will love many of the characters in the story, but you will also love how much you learn about that very difficult time. And if you're into education or teaching or history for sure, this book will call to you. The narrator for the audiobook was amazing. Her name is Fiona Hardingham. She had the accents, to me, beautifully done. So I would highly recommend this author as well as this book. It is overall a very clean read. There is some war sadness, but very, very good. I hated to see it end. It is a long book. There are 16 hours, 13 discs. But if you are a quick reader, I'm sure you would pick it up and read through very quickly. You don't want to put it down. I think that's all I have. So thank you for spending time with me, for coming by today. If you're new, push the subscribe button. Y'all give me your comments. I read them and am so encouraged by all of you. And check out those to three lovely ladies that I mentioned. I've spoken of Mary before, but I had to show you that sampler she shared. And then Iryna and Ann Thompson, who is up in Arkansas, friends with Marlene at Stitchin' by the Lake. But I know she would appreciate some Floss Tube love, and her channel is just Ann Thompson. Y'all have a great week coming up. Stay cool if you're in the area of our country that is so hot right now. And let's get together again sooner rather than later. Take care. Bye-bye.